All right, so we already did MVP, we did Rookie of the Year. Now we're gonna go to Most Improved Player, starting from. We're gonna start from 2011 this time because I could just name from 2008 Hedo Turkoglu and Danny Granger. They didn't really have long careers. Danny Granger was shortened by injury. Hedo Turkoglu was a bucket for the Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard. He was a great piece for that team, but it's not too much to it with those guys. But in 2013, Paul George won Most Improved Player after his. It was his third year he improved. He became an All Star that year. A lot of these people on these lists became an All Star after winning Most Improved. That's why I wanted to dive into this video. But we all know Paul George now. But back then, Paul George did not have a jump shot at all. He was just known as a defender. But this season, he broke out and showed he had a jumper and he could do everything on the court. That was when he used to wear a PG 24. That's my favorite Paul George ever, by the way. That and Oklahoma Paul George. But Paul George broke out of his shell this season. That's not too much to it. And imagine if Paul George never broke out his shell. A lot of the future basketball players would not have a basketball player to look up to. Paul George has this generational ability to suck in fans. But Paul George has never gotten a ring. But yeah. 2014, Goran Dragic for the Phoenix Suns and one Most Improved Player. And Goran Dragic was nice. He got the nickname the Dragon. He never really got playing time before, but once he got playing time in 2014, he never looked back. He became a starter. He was often coming off the bench, but behind Steve Nash, behind whoever was on the Suns roster. But he became the starter that season. And that team with Eric Bledsoe and Isaiah Thomas, they was running three guards. And it's really good that Goran Dragic broke out. He became a one-time All-Star with the Miami Heat in 2018. So I'd say Goran Dragic had a successful career in the EuroLeague too. It's not all about the NBA, but this was when he won Most Improved Player. In 2015, Jimmy Butler won Most Improved Player, and we all know Jimmy Buckets. This was when he was on the Miami Heat, though. No, this is when he was on the Chicago Bulls. My bad. But Bulls Jimmy was a closer, but before he broke out the season in 2015, he was a defender. He played next to Derrick Rose, and it was Derrick Rose's team. This season, this is when the NBA started to learn about Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler actually became better than Rose at that time because of the injuries to Rose. Jimmy Butler was available, and he was scoring now. He was not just a defender. He became such much more than that. His mid-range was pure. He was driving to the paint. He was his IQ, and he to go from one of the last picks in the draft to NBA All-Star, it's crazy. But needless to say, Jimmy Butler has been an All-Star for a majority of his career after winning this award, and he's bounced around a few teams since then. The Bulls, the Timberwolves, 76ers, and now he's found a home in Miami where he made the finals a couple years ago. They hope to do it again, but yeah, that's pretty much Jimmy Butler's career. In 2016, CJ McCollum won Most Improved Player, and once CJ won that, he went from a no-name, who's that playing next to Dame, to the most underrated player in the league. And CJ was a bucket on the Portland Trailblazers. Don't get it twisted. Even though he was never an All-Star, people criticized that. Like, he has the most games played without an All-Star appearance, averaging above 21 points. But we all know CJ McCollum's name now, and he's engraved with that dynamic duo with Damian Lillard for life, even though he was never an All-Star. In 2017, Giannis Antetokounmpo won Most Improved Player, and yeah, that's when all the growth that the Bucks paid off. Giannis was no longer this project. Giannis became a superstar, an All-Star. He was an All-Star in 2017. He broke out in 2017. He took that team from Jabari Parker himself and made it his roster. And we all know what happened next with Giannis. Giannis became the Giannis we know now, a two-time MVP, a champion, and a Defensive Player of the Year. And in my opinion, the second best power forward of all time. But I'm not going to even get into all that. I'm not going to even get into all of that. But Giannis before in 2014, he looked like he had the potential to do this, but nobody knew that he was actually going to go for it, or the Bucks were going to have to take this high of a risk. But it ended up paying off. And the Bucks, I feel like the Bucks were the perfect place to go for Giannis. I feel like if he went to another team, the growth wouldn't have happened as far as it has now. In 2018, Victor Oladipo won Most Improved Player, and this is when Oladipo broke out after the trade from the Thunder for Paul George. Oladipo was the leader of this team. He was the best player, and for sure, bro. Oli was killing this season. He took LeBron to 7 games that season, and that's Cleveland LeBron. 2018 LeBron and Oladipo did that. Oladipo was an All-Star that season. It's too bad that his superstar year was cut short with injuries, but you can't really do too much if injuries affect your knee like that, because your knee is going to take away how fast you were, and that was all Oladipo's game. In 2019, Pascal Siakam won Most Improved Player, and it was deserved, I guess. Pascal Siakam became the starting power forward next to Kawhi Leonard in the championship year that the Raptors had. And he was outplaying Draymond in the finals, which was crazy at that time because we didn't really know who Pascal Siakam was before the finals. But Pascal really made a name for himself. And then the following year after Kawhi left, he became the leader of that team. He became the best player, and he was an all-star starter that year in 2020. But I think he's a 2-time All-Star, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, now he got traded from the Raptors last year. Now he's on the Indiana Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton, where they have a sure enough future and will be a playoff team for years to come by. In 2020, Brandon Ingram won Most Improved Player. After the trade with the Lakers, he became an All-Star. In 2020, by himself, because Zion was hurt, he was playing next to Lonzo, Josh Hart, and Drew Holiday, and that Pelican team was good. It was not. They became at full strength, the best team they possibly be with Zion, but Brandon Ingram was holding it down. They could have lost way more games if Brandon Ingram never broke out. And this was 4 years after he was drafted, and people knew he had the potential to do this, but they felt like he was being held back by LeBron. But as soon as he left LeBron, he showed he was a star. He showed he could be an all-star. In 2021, Julius Randle won Most Improved Player with the New York Knicks, and this is Julius Randle's all-star season when he took over the Garden. And in 2019 to the 2020 season, people were hating on the Knicks picking up Julius Randle, but clearly the Knicks saw potential in Julius to become this all-star. But Julius always showed flashes when he was on the Lakers, whether he was on the Pelicans. He showed flashes of this, but he finally put it all together when that season in 2021, and he brought the Knicks back to the playoffs, which Knicks fans didn't even know was possible at the time. I didn't think it was possible because they were often laughing jokes since the Melo days, the early 2010s, and Julius Randle actually brought back this franchise. But Julius Randle was a 2-time All-Star for the New York Knicks. 2 or 3. I think it was 3. He was a 3-time All-Star with the Knicks. He was traded this past offseason for Cat, and Julius Randle is going to go down as a top 10 Knick of all time. In 2022, Ja Morant won Most Improved Player, and we already knew what Ja was, but this is when Ja became an All-Star, I guess. Ja also won Rookie of the Year, which I don't think he deserved this award. I think Desmond Bane deserved this award, but Ja ended up giving it to Desmond Bane anyway. So it's technically his and Desmond Bane's award. So I can't really put too much label on that. But this was the season Ja became an All-Star. And That's pretty much it. Jao always showed flashes. It was literally his second season in the league. That's why I don't get it. In 2023, Lauri Markkanen won Most Improved Player, and this was by far deserved. Lauri Markkanen went from he's useless on the Bulls. Well, people saw potential on the Bulls, but the Bulls ended up trading him. No, he didn't end up trading him. He left for Cleveland, where in Cleveland he showed potential, the jump shot, dunking, all of that. That Bulls fans didn't really get to witness. But Lauri Markkanen became his full self on the Utah Jazz that season. He became an All-Star that season, averaging, I believe, 24 a game, 5-5, which Lauri Markkanen broke out, and every team wants a Lauri Markkanen on their team now. That was unheard of a few years ago. Lauri Markkanen is a top-tier player in this league now. And in 2024, Tyrese Maxey won this award, and I don't really think this was deserved either. I feel like they should have went to Kobe White, but Maxey was an All-Star this season. I guess it was shocking to the NBA media, but I already seen this coming from Maxey. But I guess he won the award. He was a top 5 rookie. I think he even made all rookie first team, but they're giving awards to people that's shown development in their early 20s, so I don't really think this makes sense. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about the Most Improved Player Award.